Middle East escalation. Facts, timelines, risks. Why WWIII fears are rising. A clear explainer. Iran, Israel, US. What happened and what's next. Crisis in the Gulf. Hormuz, retaliation, and off-ramps developing. Middle East strikes, shipping risks, diplomacy from strikes to shipping. Mapping the escalation verified facts on a volatile week in the Middle East. WWIII fears. Explained, signals, not hype. Iran strikes in the Strait of Hormuz. What to know. Escalation watch. Facts, sources, and possible paths. Strikes in shipping, Hormuz at risk emergency session retaliation map markets on edge. When people say World War III, they usually mean a chain reaction. Alliances pulled in, economies jolted, and crises crossing borders fast. Today, fear is rising after major US and Israeli strikes inside Iran. Multiple outlets cite Iranian state media claiming Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. Treat this as developing until confirmed by at least two top-tier sources, including Reuters or AP. The Strait of Hormuz faces disruption alerts, and markets are on edge over energy and shipping risks. In the next 12 minutes, what happened, why it matters, realistic escalation paths, and what to watch, calmly, with verified sources on screen. Early today, the US and Israel carried out large-scale strikes in Iran. Israeli leaders called it a preemptive operation against missile and nuclear-linked sites. The Pentagon referred to Operation Epic Fury. Leaders framed aims as degrading missiles and related infrastructure. Iranian state media claimed the supreme leader was killed in the strikes. Multiple outlets reported the claim. Independent confirmation must be verified. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, with the UN chief urging de-escalation and warning of wider conflict risk. Iran retaliated with missiles targeting locations linked to US operations, including Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE, per confirmed reporting. The US Embassy in Bahrain announced a temporary closure following strikes in Manama. Ships reported VHF broadcasts attributed to Iranian forces saying the strait was closed. Naval missions cautioned vessels. Several tanker owners and lines paused transits through Hormuz, and a major container line suspended passage, according to multiple reports. Analysts warned a full closure could spike prices quickly. OPEC Plus signaled discussions on output adjustments if supply risk persists. This is a direct confrontation touching a region crowded with alliances and proxies, where shipping disruptions can ripple worldwide. When you hear WWIII, what people really mean is a chain reaction, not a calendar date. Leadership shocks can cut both ways. They can open back channels fast, or deepen fragmentation and risk-taking. In this theater, choke points are leverage. Even rumors of disruption move insurance, freight, and energy markets. High alert increases misread signals. A misidentified drone, a stray missile, or a near collision can escalate faster than diplomacy can catch up. We will keep sources on screen and label unverified clips. Social media is treated as unconfirmed unless validated by top-tier outlets. Next, what retaliation looks like in layers: missiles, proxies, cyber, and pressure on sea lanes. Direct: missiles and drones against military-linked sites, bases, or radars. Cyber: probing critical infrastructure and government networks, often deniable and reversible. Proxy: allied armed groups creating pressure points without formal declarations of war. Economic: shipping delays, reroutes, and rising premiums can have outsized effects within days. Markets move on uncertainty. Partial disruptions can still push prices and policy responses. Confirmed: Iranian missiles targeted locations linked to U.S. operations in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE. The UN chief condemned both the initial airstrikes and retaliatory attacks as violations of international law, urging restraint. If we show social clips of launches or impacts, they will be labeled unverified social video unless confirmed by Reuters, AP, BBC, or official statements. The Strait of Hormuz is among the world's most important oil choke points. Roughly a fifth of global oil moves through here. Reports describe Iranian warnings over radio and ships pausing or rerouting as navies advise caution. Tanker owners and lines suspended transits. A major container carrier paused Hormuz passages pending security assessments. The Red Sea is the alternate corridor linking Asia and Europe. Signals from Houthi groups suggest renewed maritime threats post-strikes. Verify each incident before stating as fact. Even threat levels alone can raise insurance costs and extend voyages, affecting delivery times and prices globally. Analysts anticipate upward pressure on crude with risk premiums. Near-term moves depend on events in hours to days. OPEC Plus is scheduled to meet and could weigh output adjustments to stabilize markets if disruptions persist. Big picture, choke points translate geopolitics into everyday prices. That's why shipping safety corridors matter as much as battlefield moves. First, energy prices and supply fears. Analysts expect risk premiums. Retail prices may rise if disruption persists. Second, allied politics. Some states push restraint, others harden commitments, raising coordination challenges. Third, miscalculation. A base attack, a misidentified vessel, or an airspace incident can outpace diplomatic response times. Context: Russia-Ukraine fighting continues alongside intermittent talks and NATO incident monitoring. In the Indo-Pacific, South China Sea drills and Taiwan defense activities underscore parallel deterrence dynamics. North Korea's statements and potential test windows highlight an escalation ladder where signaling can be misread, adding to global risk bandwidth. De-escalation. If backchannels engage quickly, leaders accept face-saving steps, and maritime safety corridors are assured. Probability: medium. Triggers: verified talks, ceasefire signals, UN statements, and naval assurances that reopen shipping lanes. Sustained strikes and proxy activity without global war. Maritime disruption becomes leverage, with volatile oil and insurance. Probability: medium to high. Watch for repeated exchanges, diversified proxy fronts, and prolonged shipping pauses. Triggers: major attacks on international bases, a large maritime incident, cyber hits on critical infrastructure, or alliance obligations pulling states in. Probability: low to medium, but highest consequence. Uncertainty is high in the first 72 hours. Information lags, misinfo circulates, and incentives evolve, so probabilities are ranges, not certainties. Off-ramps, hotline deconfliction, third-party mediation, narrow targeting pledges, maritime safety corridors, and humanitarian pauses. We will label all claims. Social posts remain unverified until confirmed by Reuters, AP, BBC, FT, WSJ, UN, IAEA, or official statements. Watch: 1. Hormuz traffic, moving or paused. 2. UN moves, statements or resolutions. 3. Confirmed attacks on bases or ships, no rumors. 4. Red Sea activity, verified maritime incidents. 5. Oil policy, OPEC plus output signals and market stabilization steps. If a clip goes viral, ask where was it filmed, when, and who verified it. If unclear, treat it as unconfirmed. I'll keep updates calm and sourced. No panic, no propaganda. Subscribe for verified timelines and maps. In moments like this, clarity is a public service. Tell me in the comments which indicator matters most: shipping, diplomacy, or military actions. All major claims carry on-screen sources and dates. We'll update as confirmations arrive. When people say World War III, they usually mean a chain reaction where one conflict pulls in allies, spreads across regions, and jolts the global economy. Today, that fear is rising after major US and Israeli strikes on Iran. Reports from Iranian state media, carried by outlets including CNN, claim Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. Treat this as developing until confirmed by at least two top-tier sources like Reuters or AP. In the next 12 minutes, we'll break down what happened, why it matters, how it could escalate, and what to watch in the next 72 hours, without panic and without propaganda. The US and Israel conducted large-scale strikes inside Iran, described by Israeli leaders as preemptive against missile and nuclear-linked targets. The US Department of Defense referenced Operation Epic Fury. Iranian state media claimed the supreme leader was killed. Treat as developing pending confirmation by Reuters, AP. The UN Security Council called an emergency session, and the UN chief urged de-escalation. Iran launched retaliatory missiles toward regional locations tied to US operations, including Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and the UAE, per confirmed reporting. In parallel, radio warnings attributed to Iranian forces and advice from naval missions led many ships to pause or reroute in the Strait of Hormuz. Several tanker owners and a major container line temporarily suspended transits. Analysts cautioned that a full closure could spike oil prices, and OPEC Plus began discussing potential output responses. This moment involves direct confrontation with major military actors in a region where choke points magnify risk. An escalation ladder often looks like this: strikes, retaliation, proxy expansion, shipping disruption, and then alliance pull-ins. Leadership uncertainty inside Iran could open back channels or accelerate fragmentation. The miscalculation problem looms. On high alert, a single mistaken encounter can escalate faster than diplomats can respond. We will keep sources on screen, and social media content remains unverified until confirmed by top-tier outlets. See sections S006, S007 for recorded narration corresponding to 345 to 740. This is the escalation ladder. Proxy pressure, direct strikes, shipping disruption, wider alliance involvement, and systemic shock. Each rung concentrates risk and links local violence to global markets and infrastructure. Scenario 1. De-escalation. Triggers include verified talks via mediators, mutual pause signals, and maritime safety assurances. Probability, medium. Scenario 2. Contained regional war. Sustained strikes, proxy fronts, and shipping disruptions without global war. Probability, medium to high. Scenario 3. Wider conflict. Attacks on international bases. A major maritime incident, or cyber escalation drawing in alliances. Probability, low to medium but highest consequence. Uncertainty is high due to information lags and shifting incentives. Use official channels, public domain, licensed stock, or fair use excerpts with commentary. Blur private individuals, avoid doxing, and exclude graphic gore. Label social clips as unverified unless confirmed. Keep within YouTube policies.